One last video before I proceed with my day. I have a ton of chores to do. I have to get back to work tomorrow. But I just want to talk about my relationship with God. There is nothing literally more important to me than my relationship with God. There's nothing that has ever been more important to me, nor will there ever be anything more important to me in my life than my relationship with God. Ever since I was 6 years old, walking home from the grocery store by myself one day, which was folly. You should not let your little 5-year-old kids walk around freely in the neighborhood. But this was the 80s. That was a different time. But ever since I had an inner monologue, I've been obsessed with my purpose in this world, right? And I believe that's a result of not only me like being molested, but me being dosed with LSD as a 5-year-old kid. This is the birth of my shadow. And me being dosed with LSD as a 5-6-year-old kid, this is something that I didn't even realize that happened at the time. It was something that I figured out decades later. That's a whole another long story in itself. But it was the moment that I realized what had happened. That was the exact moment that I created the adaptive expansive philosophy. And the adaptive expansive philosophy, right? It consists of 3 central tenets, and mastery over all 3 tenets and congruence produces permanent flow state, and existence in congruence with nature itself, and evolution of the human consciousness. This philosophy is something that focuses on purpose, the purpose of humanity, the purpose of you. There's a reason why God created you. There's a reason why God created me, and to find that out, that's been my main obsession in life, right? I do pray to Jesus. I do consider myself a Christian, but I also believe at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter what you believe. I'm sorry, it doesn't. There's only one thing that is sacred in this world. One thing, and one thing only. And it isn't Jesus, it isn't Allah, it isn't the Torah, it isn't any holy work, it isn't the Vedic rishis, it isn't Hinduism, it isn't Buddhism. The only thing that is sacred in this world is the relationship between man and woman. Without that chemical spark, without that innate carnal desire, attraction, there is no humanity. And if there's no humanity, there's no one. There's no Jesus Christ. There's no Muhammad ibn Allah. There's no one that creates words. There's no one that creates written words. There's no one that creates systems. There's no one that creates languages. There's no tales of Jesus. There's no tales of Muhammad. There's no tales of Moses, of Abraham, without the human being. That is the only thing that matters, is that connection, the cosmic, divine connection of the man and the woman, the yin and the yang. That is truly the only thing that is sacred, right? I'm the creator of simulation theory. Now, you ask me whether or not we're in a simulation. Those are a whole another bunch of set of videos right there. But let's just say we were. Let's just say we were all connected to some huge mainframe, right? At the end of the day, I think it's irrelevant whether or not it's a huge simulation, whether or not we're connected to a huge computer or not, or whether this is the actual universe as exists. All human beings come from the same source, this infinite source of energy and light. You know, this is the source that not only humanity, but nature and the universe itself all comes from this source, and we will all descend back to this source. Humans, I believe Abraham existed. I believe Moses existed. I believe Jesus existed. I believe Muhammad existed. But what I also know for a fact is that everything that we know about the world is the product of manipulated narratives. I believe Jesus existed over 2,000 years ago. However, I also believe that narratives are manipulated in his name, as well as those of Abraham, Moses, and Muhammad ibn Allah. And these narratives are manipulated in the global geopolitical game of world dominance, right? religions become tools to subjugate others. That doesn't take anything away from the validity of the life of Jesus, Abraham, Moses, and Muhammad. But what I am saying is that humans twist and create narratives in order to gain power. Jesus existed, but everybody who writes about Jesus doesn't write with the spirit of Jesus. Everyone who claims Jesus does not operate in the spirit of Jesus. Same with Muhammad, Abraham, and Moses, right? Religion is ultimately, it's a power play to take control over the world. Whose God is the most powerful, whose God is the most right, is the one who can dominate. That's the official role of religion. I pray to God every day. I gave him a huge thanks this morning because regardless of I attain success, regardless of if my books make a difference in the world, I'm just thankful for each and every single day that I wake up in this world. I'm thankful for the years that I suffered with crack and coke addiction. I'm thankful for hitting rock bottom. I'm thankful for picking myself back up, for everybody along the way who gave me a hand, right? Every ride I got to drug court, every kind word, every positive interaction, with citizens in this country. And I was down for a while, man. It took me a while to pick myself back up. And in doing so, I met so many great people, Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, liberals, MAGA, which is why I know we can have a better future in this country. I've met so many cool people, and I know we can have a better future in this country. I know we can get past this division, the racism and the hatred and the tribalism and factionalism. I know we can, because I've seen it myself. There's nothing that makes me happier than just going to the grocery store or just living my life and just seeing American citizens in this country of different races just participating in society and getting along together. But anyway, everything I do is for a purpose. Everything that you do is for a purpose. Everything bad that has gone on in your life has happened for a reason. Let's try to find that purpose. That's the only thing that I've ever been obsessed with. And that plus living life on my own accord. And the third thing that I've been obsessed with is the life force, sex, right? That innate desire to want to procreate, which for so long I neglected, I abandoned to the vices of porn and hardcore drugs. And now I'm just ready to be a part of nature. I thank God again for every day that I wake up, and at one point I will find a mate and create a life and complete the life cycle and bring my progeny into this world and give thanks for the life of my progeny.